Well, Sean Callahan here. We're out in McCook with Nebraska's offensive analyst, Frank Verducci. Coach, I'm guessing this is your first time making it this far out in the state of Nebraska.
We used to make this trip going out to Colorado all the time. I've actually seen some of the familiar pit stops along the way. So not quite the first time. First time, really getting to spend some time, though, with the people in these towns.
When you talk about what you do at Nebraska, obviously you've got an extensive background, offensive coordinator at UConn, several years in the NFL before that. What is your exact role now as you kind of look at what you're going to be doing for Coach Frost here at Nebraska?
Well, based on what I did last year, the biggest thing is the pregame planning and profiling the opponents. So obviously each week, say for example Akron, we get done with the Akron game, the staff will come in and put the Akron game to bed, grading the film, all that, and then immediately you have to turn your attention to Colorado. Well, the prior week, I'll start turning my attention to Colorado. Our graduate assistant coaches will break all that film down. Then I'll get the raw data and start to, the term I use is profile their defense. So when then our coaches come in on Sunday, they've got a really concise picture of who the opponent is, who the personnel is, injury report, statistics, situational defense, so that they can hit the ground running. It allowed us, at least in Orlando, to really use our time more efficiently. It seemed to work very well, obviously.
You're probably a guy that's had opportunities to maybe take other coaching jobs. What has kind of attracted you to stay in this type of role with Coach Frost?
One, I really enjoy working under Coach Frost. I mean, just a great guy. It was originally just going to be a short-term thing down in Orlando. It started to work well, and then as we got towards the end of the season, we talked about something going out forward from there. The other thing is the opportunity to work with Greg Austin. Really enjoy him. Outstanding young line coach. So that's a great relationship as well.
When you talk about the schedule and your job's not going to be easy. You're going to be looking at a lot of good football teams. What have you noticed just about the style of the Big Ten compared to maybe what you've seen in the AAC and other places?
Yeah, I mean, the Big Ten hasn't changed all that much style-wise. I was in the conference for 14 years at Iowa and Northwestern. There's a lot of still similarities. It's still a big physical league. It's going to be fun to see how our offense translates in those matchups. And, of course, we're always looking for advantages in the matchups. It's going to be great to see how we match up.
What about just the resources at a place like Nebraska? When you start to get the full Big Ten money that wasn't there 14 years ago, what are some of the advantages? I'm sure having positions like yours are one of them, but have you noticed just the advantages of all the resources a place like Nebraska offers already?
Well, it's such a great opportunity for the kids, the student athletes. I mean, whether you're a scholarship player or a walk-on, the resources that we have for everybody on the roster, it really gives you an opportunity if you're really dedicated and focused on being the best that you can be and developing as a student, a football player. All the resources are there. The support, whether it's academic, medical, strength training, nutrition, they're all there to help you get, achieve the things that you want to achieve.
So when you're at Iowa, are you with Coach Ferentz or Coach Fry?
I was with Coach Fry for 12 years. Yeah, went there at 26 years old as a GA and left at 40 as a co-offensive coordinator, so he's a great influence in my career.
You were like that picture when they show all those coaches. I mean, you're one of those guys in the picture of all those great coaches.
The 85 team, Bill Snyder, Barry Alvarez, Ferentz, all those guys, the Stoops brothers. Yeah, it was quite a group to cut your teeth with.
So you were on that staff in 85?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you remember just about some of those guys, and as you saw their careers progress, did you kind of be like, wow?
Well, I just remember we used to run at noontime, go jogging, and they would moan about nobody ever leaving because Coach Fry had great staff continuity. And, they'd run and say, man, I'm never going to get out of here. I'm never going to get an opportunity. And then all of a sudden, a year later, Barry Alvarez gets his. Dan McCarney goes to Iowa State. Bill Snyder to Kansas State. So to see those people launch off, I mean, their success was obviously no surprise. They're extraordinary people and coaches, but it's been fun to stay in touch with them and follow them.
Have you seen anything like what you guys did at UCF in recent years where everybody came? I'm not talking just the coaches, but the support staff and practically everybody but the secretaries came to Lincoln with you guys.
Yeah, no, that and having coached as long as I've had, I'm familiar with what happens in turnovers, and whether you're successful and can't bring everybody, or obviously you get let go and people scatter. This is really a rare circumstance where everybody, like you said, Sean, even the support staff, get up here. And really what it does, it's that word again, it's the efficiency of everything we do. The acclimation curve of, is this my responsibility or his? There's none of that. I mean, that's why I think spring practice was so productive, because really it was just an extension of what everybody had done the previous spring down in Orlando.
You hear about the fans, now that you've experienced the fans at Nebraska, any funny or crazy stories or thoughts about the fan base?
No, it's exceptional. I grew up in, I was a teenager in the 70s, and, just the Nebraska profile. The thing that makes it exceptional is the fans. And if you're in state and you're around the program, well, that's just the way it is. But when you're an outsider looking in, you're envious. You wish you had a fan base like that. You wish you had people that were so passionate and wanted to be involved and support you in whatever way they were capable of. And we're just looking forward to rewarding the fan base, with a good, hard-working team out on the field.
I got to ask you about your brother, Tom Verducci, famous Sports Illustrated writer. I believe he's announcer for the World Series with Fox. Yeah. With all his years in baseball, give me a cool baseball story. I mean, I'm sure you've gotten some backstage access to something that you could brag about here.
Well, no, I mean, I don't get a chance to see him nearly as much as I'd like to, but usually when I see him, it's at a game, or he'll come out to one of our games. And I'm a big baseball fan as it is, so I get a kick out of meeting those people, whether it's been sitting in a dugout with Joe Torre, just talking about coaching, or things like that. It's been a lot of fun.
What's your favorite ballpark?
My Fenway.
You're a Sox guy, right?
Well, my son works for the Red Sox, so whether I was or not, I am now.
Yeah, this is Royals country out here, as you've learned. I think there's some Cubs fans, but pretty strong Royals fans, especially the World Series a couple years ago.
Yeah, it is. That's exciting. As a matter of fact, my wife and my daughter got to go down to the World Series down there through my brother. Unfortunately, we're busy that time of the year, but they got to go down to Kauffman and experience that. It was a great time.
Well, Coach Verducci, welcome to Nebraska, and best of luck here as you guys get ready for the start of fall camp.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.